what you're going to do is you're going to use this list to write an S if it's a solid, and then you're going to write a AQ if it's aqueous, just like we did yesterday. All right? So, I don't care where you write these out at. You can write them. Don't write them on this sheet because then you're given examples that might be on a test or quiz. So you can do it on another sheet. So, I'll give you one example, okay? Like, I don't know what he wants me to do. Okay, I'm going to give you one example so that at least you have one to look off of. Go ahead and write these down and I'll do one for you after we have them written down.
Number 3, is that BA?
That's BaCO3. BaCO3. So this is what I mean. If I look at it and I find that one of the two, or both together, they say it's soluble. So I look at CaCl2 and I go, okay, Cl2, oh, it talks about chlorides in number 3. Most chlorides are soluble. An exception would be if it was silver, lead, and mercury. It's not with one of those. So I say AQ. AQ. So AQ represents a solution where it's soluble. Okay, and then an S represents when it's insoluble. So go ahead and do those 6 examples. So you're just learning how to use this list here on these 6, kind of see how they work. These, all right? So, Sadie, what did you get for the number 2? Did you have an S or did you have an AQ?
AQ.
Okay, AQ. Which one? What was you looking at to figure that one out? What would you look? What did you look at? Which one of those look at? Did you look at iron or hydroxide?
Hydroxide.
Okay. So hydroxide says number 5. It says most hydroxides are only slightly soluble. The ones that are soluble are Na and K. Rest of them are pretty much insoluble. So we've got to make sure that if it says it's slightly soluble or marginally soluble, we still write a solid with it. Some people will want to write aqueous, so that should be a solid. Questions on that one? Okay. Yep. It's insoluble. Even if it's marginally soluble, we still write it S. Okay? Linnea, what'd you get for number 3?
AQ.
Okay, AQ. So which one did you look for that one? Which number, 1 through 6?
2.
Okay, on those 2, now barium's not listed there, and carbonate. So I think what you needed to do is look at number 6.
6.
So it says most carbonates are only slightly soluble. So if they're only slightly soluble, we still have to write an S for it. Okay? So we need to write an S for it if it says it's slightly or insoluble. We've got to write a solid because it's going to form a precipitate. Trying to get you guys to look at the right location. Okay? Mia, what'd you get for number 4?
AQ.
AQ. And what did you look on that one? Which one? NA or I?
NA.
Okay? And NA is listed in number 2.
Yeah.
So that would be right, aqueous. Okay, so it says these are soluble. All right. Morgan, what'd you get for number 5?
AQ. Oh, shoot.
It's okay.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Morgan. You said AQ?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what did you look at?
Number 3.
Okay. Number 3 has silver, but it's related to chlorine. Okay? So we need to relate it to sulfide. So number 6 has sulfide. So most sulfides are basically insoluble. So we got to write an S there. Okay? So this list we're going off of is similar to what you guys have. See, down here it says sulfides. And it says that those are insoluble. Okay, this is almost real similar to the list that you have. There might be a few things different. Okay. All right. So Jaden, what did you get for 6?
AQ.
AQ. Which one did you look at there?
NH4.
Yeah, NH4. You didn't have to look any further. It says that those are soluble. Okay. Avery, what did you get for number 7?
S.
And which number did you look at?
Number 4.
Number 4, and it says that those are insoluble, but there's an exception in CaSO4. CaSO4. Okay? It says that is, those exceptions mean that they're insoluble on those. Okay? Questions? Okay. So, how do we do these? Now, how do these enter in to what you're going to have to do over the next day? Okay? This is how they enter in. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 solutions. I'm going to put them together. Alright? So I'm going to give you these 2 solutions.
Where do we write this?
Anywhere in your notes. Anywhere except for that page. Okay. So, we're going to come up with 2 products. And this is called the double displacement reaction. This PB is going to take the place of K. This K is going to take the place of the PB. You're going to rewrite them. You're going to write out them correctly based upon their charges. I'll give you the charges so you don't have to look them up since we're running out of time. Rewrite them on that side. Then you have to decide, is it going to be a solid from your list or is it going to be aqueous from your list? Just like we did on those 7. Won't be any different. So write them on the product side. Once you have them written out, then we'll look to see if they're solid or aqueous. So you should write PB with I and K with NO3, and then see if they balance the charges. So is PB and I balance?
No.
No. So it has to be PBI2. Put a little parentheses behind there so we can put in there aqueous or solid. And then K and NO3 balances. Okay, it balances. PBI2, is that a solid or aqueous?
Solid.
It's a solid. Which one did you look at, Torrance?
I looked at
Three.
number 3. Yeah.
Okay, number 3. It says most chlorides, bromides, and iodide are soluble. Only, but if they're put with lead, they're not. So that's why that one has to be a solid. And then nitrates. The next one, it says all nitrates are soluble. So guess what you do? You write AQ. And then you balance. Okay, questions? That's kind of what we're doing. And Wednesday's having a little tougher. Now, if you're going to be gone tomorrow for limited, I'll probably do a little short video tomorrow doing a few more of these examples. But before you go, if you're gone tomorrow, I know you're gone tomorrow, you need to come up and get a sheet. Okay, we'll see the rest of you tomorrow.